Good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. I'm your host, Leafy Potato, and welcome to another NRTS 1v1 cast, brought to you by me. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a very, very interesting game. This is going to be between myself and Mr. I'm sure you probably already knew that, but it's going to take place on grasslands here. As we see the map vote, obligatory grassland. I will say, I have been liking playing on Snowdrift more recently. I don't know what to think of it completely. It's a very chopper-heavy map, but, I mean, so is every other map for 1v1. In any case, I digress. Here we go. I start off as the blue commander, playing against Mr. as the red commander. Queue a couple militia, just stock standard opener. I'm thinking about doing a more aggressive farm expand, which is to say, have one of my workers go out on the map after making the first command center farm, and then have the other guy just finish up the CC farms. I mean, what very little efficiency you lose in taking farms kind of cheese-proofs your opponent taking way too many of yours. Not that they really will, but just having the worker already out on the map means you can sort of contest them taking farms in the exact middle. Right, I mean, you usually use your militia to prevent that, but your militia can only be in so many places at once. We see Mr. getting a little adventurous here, trying to take farms towards purple. It is kind of far from me, but it's also kind of far for him, so it's going to be hard for him to both defend that and also keep a front line. We see militia lining up in between the two rocks in the middle of the map. That's kind of how you see it every single time you play red versus blue. While you can sort of get away with not holding that front line, I mean, then your opponent just pushes up in front of your base and puts a tower in a spot that's annoying to deal with, and you'd really rather just not worry about having to clear out a tower with just militia tech. I'm getting adventurous here with my worker just to see if Mr. will dislodge his position a little bit. He's lined up to fight my militia right now, but he's not exactly lined up to stop my farm. So he just pulls back. He's like, okay, fine, I'll just get that farm later. Right, maybe I end up making some money on it, but won't be all that much. Right, this is not a long-term farm. I have managed to push my front line through the gap, though, and both me and Mr. have 8 militia here, so we're more or less just evenly matched. Now, it is a little bit dangerous, me having my formation lined up near a rock. I am trying to take a second farm past the front line, which is probably not supposed to happen. Mr. will maneuver in such a way that I can just take the farm, though. His formation a little disjointed. I micro back a pretty damaged militia after the fight starts. He tries to reform in the middle of a fight, and that's like the worst thing you can do. He ends up losing 2 militia immediately. My worker starts taking some fire. I lose 1 militia. He loses a 3rd. Yeah, this is not a great fight from him, and he's still trying to form up a line to fight me. My worker is actually taking militia shots now, which saved my army a decent bit of headache here, and then Mr. just chokes on a farm. So, yeah, maybe this isn't the best example of, like, if you're trying to look at how an early game is usually supposed to go and how to how to get to mid game, this probably isn't the game to watch. Mr. has a lot of farms, sure, but he just lost, like, I want to say, was that 7 more militia than me? Yeah, no, because I've still got 7. He's got none, so not a great early game fight. I'm just gonna tower in his face because he can't stop me. He's going to try to pull his militia to deal with it. I'll just pull some of my damaged militia that were hitting his farms. And yeah, I mean, this is a brutal position for Mr. to try to play. So we'll see where this game goes. I'm going, okay, now I've got a pretty sizable lead. I've got a house, and I can, like, fill it with more militia. Mr.'s got a house, but it's not going to do anything for him for, like, 2 minutes, just because of how many militia he's lost. I'm going to poke at some of his farms. He's going to poke at some of mine, but I've got a tower up in prime position. I'm rallying some of my harassing militia back around to the new front line, which is in front of Mr. Space. And sure, my front line is being held by damaged militia right now, which isn't great, but I mean, Mr. doesn't have enough stuff close by to really do anything about it. He picks off one of my farms. Not a problem. I've got farms all over the place, and I've been picking off his just about as fast. Right, rallying militia onto each of his farms, just giving him a million different problems to try to address. I believe I'm sending a worker. Oh, no, I'm sending him back to make a house. Okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Never mind. That worker's probably going to make a house and then a generator. Keeping my front line moving here. Now, while I do have more militia than Mr., they are all damaged. or most of them at the front line are all damaged anyways. And so I do need to be very, very cautious when it comes to how I'm going to take fights. Now, I do have less militia than Mr. here, but I do have a decent enough formation against him. Yeah. So while I was fighting 4 to 5, I was shooting at only one of his militia at a time, which is great. So end up getting a kill. He gets a kill. I've damaged some of his militia. He's damaged all of mine. But yeah, just keeping his militia count down is really the most important thing. He's making houses, but those houses are only just really expensive farms in essence. Like all he's getting out of them is the population. He's taking his work or trying to get some farms because he understands, farms are going to be the way that he gets back into the game, if any way. But the tower I've got kind of chokes his access to the middle, and if I have any militia anywhere close by, then yeah, he's just not going to be able to maneuver through there. Next best option is the path that I've got my group of now 6 militia in. You saw just a second ago. I'm continuing to make farms as I need population or make houses as I need population rather. Farms are going to be my main eco source. I've got a worker out making farms, got a worker back at home making houses. I'm floating a lot of money, so upgrading my command center should be something I'm doing right now, but whatever. I will just continue producing militia. And just squeezing Mr's position even more, trying to reduce all of the farms that he had far-flung. Making an extra worker here probably makes a lot of sense, right? I already still have more militia than him. He's going to go and strike at a lot of my farms now, which sucks, but I'm going to go strike at some of his new militia. His command center picks off one of mine, but I picked off one of his, so not terrible. If I trade 1-to-1 with Mr. for the rest of the game, I'm super winning. And that's just by virtue of having a crushing early game fight. Right, again, Mr. doesn't have very many opportunities to get back into this game, provided that I've got my head on my shoulders correctly and I can think. Right, he has already destroyed 2 of my farms, it'll be 3. Losing farms, though, really doesn't bother me much because I've got so many of them. Right, I've still got the map control, ultimately. He's moving his army around, but by the time he can get back around to destroy another one of my farms, right, I mean, I've destroyed all of his except the ones he's got at his command center. He's trying to take a worker out to build another farm. I'm gonna go, clamp down on his army if he doesn't go and retreat it now. I've got a couple militia rallying to the middle so that I can fight his push towards the middle. I'm going to make just an air pad, right? Prevent him from doing just about anything. If he's going to send around a squad of 5, 6, 7 militia to do anything, if I just meet it with 3, 4 choppers, he's dead, right? I am just destroying more of his militia as I go, trying to get a house, right? He ends up losing 3 militia, one of them to a tower. Just joyous times for me. He's going to fight, or he's going to make a battle line, but I'm not fighting in range of his command center, so this is just him taking a fight out in the open, and it's not a good fight, right? We have about equal numbers, and if he's trading, I'm winning. I'm about to have tier 1 hitting the field, I still have militia in production, right? My life is good. And now I can just go and take more farms on the map, and you see, this is just a wild position. Absolutely wild position. Chopper's already made, didn't have it rally across the map, really should probably set that, but indeed. Okay, so got 1 worker in the middle-ish of the map, 1 worker back at home making a generator. That generator is going to be important because I'm going to want to make another tower just to clamp down on his movement even more. Right, force him to go around towards orange first before striking at me if possible. But yeah, now I finally upgraded my command center. My strategy really should be continue producing militia as much as I possibly can and make a chopper whenever I am floating $64, which ends up putting me at about 2 choppers a minute when I do it that way. I'm trying to strike at the air pad now, but I'm getting a little greedy. Took a little bit too much damage. I say too much damage. I got shot at once or twice. I don't want to be fighting the militia horde, though. Ideally, I just keep my chopper numbers higher than him. I make a transport copter, right? I've got more choppers than him. I can afford to take the island farms. Now, Mr's trying to keep me from poking at his exposed house by moving his chopper in place, and that's just not a great idea. Right, now I'm fighting my choppers against his militia force, which is a bad call, right? If I'm gonna fight choppers against militia, it needs to be 1 or 2 of them by poking at the very edges of his force, not against the full battle line. But I will get a house, it seems. And honestly, I'll just take the fight for real. I can replace losses. Mr. really can't. He can replace militia, but if we're replacing them at the same rate, then I win, right? I've got another worker on the mainland. I've got my guy over the transport copter finally on the island. I'll just go ahead and start making farms out right there. I am looking to hold on to this farm for dear life. I have a 5-to-1 chopper advantage, and I will now start picking off Mr.'s militia where I can. He does send his chopper forward, try to stall me a little bit. Now it's 5-to-2. Now, a lot of mine are damaged, so I need to be careful here, but I am just picking off militia pretty quickly. It's going to be difficult for Mr. to do much of anything. I'm going to make a tower now. A very conservative one, mind you, but conservative tower is fine, because I've got all the time in the world, right? I move my front line a little too far back. Mr. tries to poke at my farm with his choppers. Maybe he tries to, like, get my worker. I don't know exactly what the move was supposed to do. I trade militia with him. I still have a decent enough militia force. The tower's about to get done. I still have more choppers than him, right? This is just the ideal game, right? If you're wondering, like, okay, I win an early game fight, but I'm still losing, right? How do I convert a game? Maybe this is the match that's more important to you. Key answer, chopper, tower. You need to constantly produce militia still to the best of your ability. Otherwise, well, your opponent will just have more militia than you and run you over. But once you get to the point where you have like 2 or 3 choppers for every one they've got, and you've got towers on the map, dude, they can't move, right? Any sort of other advantage they might have, which they won't have much of, you just kind of negate by costing them so much to engage into you, right? And I've got my choppers just out to the side of my main militia formation. Now, it's not really much of a formation right now. It's more of a blob. I see that Mr's trying to, like, strike at my farms. I'm like, oh, I could probably just, like, kill him. And then I'm like, wait, no, there's militia here. And then I end up losing... How much is that? Okay, 2 choppers, about to be a third. Not a great look, right? Just waiting for a hospital to start probably would have been a better idea than just whatever I was doing. And he's got 4 choppers, and I have no defenses at my base. This is not good. I've got a chopper that's about to pop out, and I've got 1 chopper that's home. Now, he has 1 damage chopper, and it's going to take the majority of the command center fire immediately, but I have to hug his choppers, otherwise I start dying. I do that poorly. And, yeah, that was not great execution, but because Mr. had some damage on him already, and I already had a chopper in the air soaking up some shots, I managed to survive. Had he gone directly for my command center, Qual thinks I would have just died. Maybe I could have survived had Mr. just took his 4 choppers and clicked on my base. But yeah, that's rough. Okay, so I lose 2 choppers, but Mr. loses 4. I'm finally like, okay, maybe a hospital would have been a better call. Let me just make the hospital and not lose the game. I also have some damaged militia because we've been skirmishing back and forth with those all the time, so having full HP militia instead of half HP militia will help. Mr. does have a force that is pretty threatening to me. He does have 3 full HP choppers. I have quite a few choppers, but they're not full HP. I'd prefer to heal them if possible, but I don't think I'm getting that luxury. I moved my entire militia force in addition to my choppers. You'll notice my militia production has been pretty not great so far. We're going to get to the point where I have enough choppers that I can start to pick off the militia piecemeal here and there, provided that Mr. doesn't have that many choppers defending them. Right, choppers against the militia deal 11 damage a shot. Militia have 40 HP, right? You 4-shot them. It's not too difficult to pick off 1, maybe 2 militia, especially if they're choking on a farm here. You just give a couple volleys into their lines. Yeah. Okay. So I'm popped right now because I honestly don't even know what happened. I'm floating $200. I've got 1 hospital on the map. I really could afford to have a second hospital. But at the moment, I'm not healing any of my choppers. I'm just trying to kill Misters, right? I almost kill one of them and almost end up losing some choppers for the privilege. I decide maybe I'll just back off a little bit. I get another one of his militia. Now he's in a dangerous position. I've got 20 at home. That's enough to keep me from just dying. He can take his choppers and go, like, harass around the map. I'm going to take my 2 mostly full HP choppers and see if I can't move them in position. That hospital down there is just going to be healing up the rest of my force for the time being, and they will be rallying across the map in short order. Trying to pick off the low HP chopper Mr. Scott at the back of the formation. I do actually end up getting it. Okay, so this is not terrible for me. Now, taking all of those militia shots is not great, and I noticed Mister's been harassing me with his choppers across the map now, so my farm advantage isn't as great as it could be, but I do have a hospital, and Mister really, I don't think he does. My hospital's been healing up my chopper army for a while, so I've been just grinding value on that. Choppers are taking a lot of damage to militia fire. I'm trying to get my force such that it's really hard for Mister to strike at my low HP stuff, and I just wipe up the rest of Mister's militia. Okay, so I've got a ground army. Mister has no ground army. He is not going to be able to stop me from making vehicles, like, at all. Like, a couple militia really isn't going to do all that much for you, but for real, like, you can't really stop me deciding to get anti-air. You can't stop me deciding to get much of anything, really. Now, I'm just chilling at the hospital still. I am popped. I'm looking to spend my money to upgrade this vehicle depot real quick, just get an artillery, just have a great life. I'm moving my militia to try and stop Mister from just diving my command center. I already have one turret down, but I'm going to need more than one turret worth of DPS to keep him off me. I've got choppers rallying out to protect my island holdings. And I've got workers going around the map now, trying to just take farms as fast as possible. Finally upgrade my vehicle depot. Most of my choppers are healed up. This hospital has been employed for a while. I'm happy about that, right? The hospital only generates you value if you have low HP stuff next to it, and I've got plenty of low HP stuff next to it. Now, Mister also has a hospital, which is dangerous. He's also got a decent number of houses, but he's not maxed. He's been trying to counter my chopper aggression with his own choppers, which has cut into his housing a lot. Right, you're looking at, what's that, 3, 5, 10? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. I managed to pick off an upgraded farm of his, right, because if you only have a command center shooting away, or even like a command center and one turret, right, I can at least get some building damage done to you, and if you don't have repairmen, that damage is going to stick. I can heal up my choppers, as can you, but you can't heal up your buildings, and if you're having to constantly replace your stuff, that can be a drain. Okay, but choppers healing up, worker in danger, gonna pull him back. Mister is going out towards the island now. I'm just looking to keep him from being able to really get much done when he attempts to get to the islands. Trying to reform my choppers up didn't really work all that well. Mister just gets cut off completely. These choppers are almost guaranteed to die. Now, I'm taking a decent bit of damage myself here, but I've just got more HP to spread around. Mister loses 1, 2, that's 3 choppers, and has 3 to heal up, right? So that's good. Really good. My upgraded vehicle depot is done. I've got my workers still around the map. I am housed again, because of course I am. Why wouldn't I be? I'm going to just heal up at my hospital while I can, get my other workers moving around the map, taking farms. I'm going to be just massing houses now, because I'm, like, pop is the biggest problem. Mister's got another 4 choppers ready to make my life slightly annoying. Is going to deny a tower. I am going to just generally engage him, trying to get my choppers into such a formation that I can, that I'm not going to be losing any, and I'm going to be killing all of Mister's, right? He's not in a great formation. I end up losing 1, he ends up losing 1. He's going to go up and around the map, trying to get to my island holdings. He'll probably pick off a farm or 2. I think I've got the transport copter moving back to the mainland now. I am chasing Mister here, but there is just an edge of the map, right? So if he tries to attack my farm stuff, he's going to run into a problem eventually. And yeah, he's got a backup now. He doesn't even get the farm, and now I am in between him and the majority of my island farms. Now, that means that I don't have my attention on the mainland, which is very dangerous, but I do have a decent amount of static defenses, which is keeping that from being a massive problem. I'm taking a 3v1 fight. That's great. I have my air pad rallying towards the island now, so the chopper that I queued up does actually manage to get into the fight. I get 1 kill. Mister's retreating the other 2 choppers back to the mainland. My artillery had spawned, started wailing away at Mister. Honestly, if he had taken that chopper and decided to kill my artillery, he probably would have gotten more done than deciding to kill my worker that was out on the map, but I digress. Okay. I'm now trying to zoom out a little bit. I do have my artillery shelling at his base, so Mister is going to be less and less able to fight with time. I just need to make sure that I can hold on to my command center until then. Right, he's got 2 choppers that are firing away at my stuff. He's going to realize very quickly that he needs to deal with the artillery I've got now. I'm going to just mass my militia right up next to my artillery, and you can't kill them now. Hooray, and then I realize at some point, sure, I could try shelling away at his base, but I could also just push forward. I've got HP. I've got a massive chopper still. The majority of Mister's force is not really threatening me at all. I have medics that are with my force now, so I don't even have to keep them all at the hospital full time. And yeah, I've just got mass choppers. He's got a couple, but I'm just going to go around, try to kill his choppers wherever I can, or at least force him to chill at the hospital for a while. My artillery are going to poke forward now, and my militia are going to attempt to soak some damage. And by attempt to soak some damage, I mean I'm just going to shove forward. Right, what's he going to do? GG. What a game. What a game. If you enjoy watching NRTS 1v1 and watching me get a completely unfair advantage in the first couple minutes and still almost die, please like and subscribe. I am shilling. Get over it. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. And remember, stay classy.